TIE fighters and Star
Yeah, you're proud of your
Wars
kids doing that, and they knew all that stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always did. I mean, I took very, very hard to the dark side. Were you a Jedi? Or
Oh, I was Luke all the way.
What?
I couldn't believe, when I was a kid, I couldn't believe why Princess Leia wanted to be with Han Solo. In my mind, Luke was where it was at.
What?
He was the fucking Jedi.
Yeah, he's also a douchey little push-around guy.
He was a dorky character. But he was the one I gravitated towards. I didn't realize Han was so cool until I got older.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, I get it.
Well, I never gravitated towards Han. Why did I gravitate towards Darth Vader? I always hated the Emperor.
I was scared. I was so scared. Like, there's a scene in Return of the Jedi when he's fighting Darth Vader in the dark, and he's obviously, 3 feet taller than he is,
right?
And he's gigantic, and he knows it's his dad, and
I don't think he knew I don't think he knew. I think he was just about to find out.
No,
I know what scene you're talking.
No, in Jedi.
But that was right after Han got carbonized. They lured Luke in there with a false pretense.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right. Well, the way he's hiding from him, and he's like, I won't fight you, and he's doing all this stuff. I'm sitting there as a kid, shitting my pants. Like,
you're scared for Luke?
I don't even know if I was, because I'm like, I put myself in situations all the time.
Right.
And so as I'm watching this as an 8-year-old or whatever I was, no, well, Empire, I was like 2 or something. But
right.
As I'm watching this as a kid, I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way I could do this. I am not brave enough to do what he's doing.
To stand up to Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's too big. He's too powerful.
He could just reach his hand out and choke you without even touching you.
He reaches out and pulls something
off
the ceiling
and
throws it at him.
right.
So I mean, that scared the hell out of me. I couldn't, and I was like, Luke, what a man.
Use the Force.
He's a man.
No. See, if there was ever anybody on the rebellion that I gravitated towards, it would have had to be Han. But I never liked Chewbacca for some reason.
Oh, really?
I never did. I never liked Chewie. I mean, I knew that Chewie was good.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, in a punch, he's gonna be your guy.
Yeah.
But I just never understood that whole even now watching it, it's just like, shut up.
You know what,
bro?
One of my favorite toys of that whole era was the Chewbacca with the netted backpack that holds C-3PO in it, because
he was dismantled.
He got dismantled, so they throw him in a knapsack, and
his
he has to
head's
carry
upside
him
down.
Yeah, he has to carry him through the desert
or backwards. Right.
I thought that was so awesome. Like 2 toys in 1.
And then one time, me and Danielle, we were in Springfield,
Illinois.
You can figure out what state Springfield's in. Go watch The Simpsons.
That's
you
right.
might want to figure that out. But we're hanging out in Springfield, and I don't know if you've ever spent any amount of time in Springfield. But
I've tried to party in Springfield.
It's such a douchey
it's
town.
It's awful.
It is so bad. Like, you walk into a bar, and you're like, wow, this looks great. This is going to be fun. And everybody who's in there is just like, I'm a dick. I'm just going to be a dick for no fucking reason. Like, the wait staff, the people that are there socially.
Yeah.
Everybody it's just like, what in the fuck are we doing here? Why are we having drinks in this place? Let's get out of here.
Me and my bowling crew did the state tournament down there one year.
Okay.
And
your bowling crew is a kind of go happy, fun-loving group of gentlemen.
It's let's drink 30 beers tonight, guys.
Sure.
Each.
You guys are fun.
Right. And so we show up into town. We get our hotel. We're all booked. We're all set. It's like 8 o'clock, and we're like, let's go stir it up.
It's time.
We look up online. We find this is the bar to be.
Right.
We go to the bar. It's dead. There's like 2 people in there. And everyone looks at us when we walk in, like the bartender,
you're a piece of
and
shit.
the 2 people, like, who the hell is this? And so we start throwing darts. We're drinking pitchers, and we're like, hey, so what's going on? When's this place liven up? And they're like, well, this place doesn't usually liven up until like 11.
What?
And
who goes out drinking at 11?
And the lady comes up to us and she goes, She goes, yeah, it doesn't usually liven up till 11, but to be honest with you, I don't think you guys are going to have much fun here. And I'm like, oh, really? What's that supposed to mean? She goes, well, this is a gay bar. We said, we'll see you at 11:30.
All right, well, check. We'll see you at 11:30. We're gonna leave, and then we're gonna come back when it really gets hot in here. Springfield is it's such a weird town. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's because it's our capital. Abraham Lincoln lived there. I don't know. I don't give a shit.
Well, it's kind of
not
like
fun.
Peoria, only smaller.
The restaurants are good.
Yeah.
I love the food in Springfield, but the bar scene is complete shit. So me and Danielle are walking out of one, and there's a mailbox. Do you remember seeing these fucking things? Like a postal service box that you used to have to. They have them publicly, sporadically
it's a big
throughout
blue
the city.
thing. You got to pull the arm down to
right. Yeah, and then you put it. When's the last time you saw one of those?
Recently. They still have them.
Well, we walk out and there's an R2D2. Like, I don't know how they got
like
the
how they
rights
paint
to it.
fire hydrants like dogs. You ever seen that?
No.
Where they like put the nose and the ears and stuff. Like,
Really?
You never seen that?
What is a dog supposed to do? Like, want to take a piss and then walk up and start humping
No,
it?
it's like people used to decorate the fire hydrant because if it's in your yard, it's like it's kind of an eyesore.
No, this is a public.
I know, but they would paint things like that just to like. Well, if it's gonna be here,
If it's got to be,
let's
here.
make it fun.
Right.
And they would do stuff like that with fire hydrants.
No, this was a United States Postal Service box that I don't know if they infringed on copyright.
Brought to you by George Lucas.
or what, but it was an R2D2, and it looked great. It was amazing.
When you drop your mail in there, they go... Yeah, if it was your IRS bill, it's like...
And the fact that a midget was in that thing...
The whole time.
Driving like what? Like driving it? Like, I want to see the inside. I still haven't seen the inside.
Have you seen those photos, like, behind the scenes? Yeah. There's something I follow on Twitter, and it's just, like, moments in history or something. And there's a picture of the guy eating a sandwich. He's, like, got his elbows hanging out. Like, the lid's been taken off. Right. And he's standing up, and he's, like, hanging out, and he's eating a sandwich, and there's, like... C-3PO with his helmet off, and he's taking a drink, and it's like everyone's standing around like waiting this like lunch break.
And scene.
It's hilarious.
That's awesome. We are going to go ahead and take a break. Thank you guys for listening to the Bill and Joe Show.
You're listening to the Bill and Joe Show.
WorkAtHomeAnytime.com. It's the fun, easy, anytime that you want. You can work from home, and you can get paid. Go to workathomeanytime.com and check out all the different ways that by just spending a couple of times, this would be great. I know that I have a couple of friends. They're married with kids, and she's a stay-at-home mom. And this would be a great opportunity for her to make a little bit of money, while she's just at home or while the baby sleeps. It's a great way to do it, and it's a very well-done website. So make sure you go to workathomeanytime.com right now. Okay, I've got an awesome video game that you guys need to check out on Kickstarter.com. It's called Odium, Role-Playing Games for Education in the Digital Age. And basically what it does is it puts you into spots in history where your character, you get to see it through the eyes of a character, and you get to actually witness it. And it's all historically correct. And not only that, but the coolest feature is that you have to consider what your character says. So when you interact with somebody, you're going to be given like 3 choices, and you have to choose one. And you also have to take into consideration where your character is going. So it's a very interactive game, and it's all about teaching you about history and about it. It's a different way of teaching. And one of the young ladies in the video was just like, I feel more engaged in it. It's more alive and real to me than reading it in a book or listening to a lecture all day. It is a fantastic game that they are using for educational purposes, and it's fantastic. So go to Kickstarter.com and search for Odium, Odeum, role-playing games for education in the digital age.
You're listening to the Bill and Joe Show.
Welcome back to the Bill and Joe Show. So, where was I going with that conversation? We ended up in Springfield.
Yeah, he saw the R2D2 box.
Yeah.
Kids are watching
yeah.
these movies and
I
bands.
don't,
We're talking about washed up bands.
Yeah. We were talking about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Axl, all that stuff.
Which, by the way,
scenes.
I would go see that concert.
Had it not been in Mexico?
I mean, if they come to Chicago, I'll
going.
I'll go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think just to be there, just to do it.
Just to say you did it?
It's something I've always wanted to do. I know, obviously, Axl he's so bad now. It's not as fun.
That's where I was going with this. So I don't have cable. So I watch a lot of Will and Grace and Star Wars.
Right.
So the other night, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change things up.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on YouTube.
All right.
And I'm like, YouTube, help me out, bro.
Yeah.
And I come across a behind the music of the Goo Goo Dolls.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh.
You've watched that before, though, right?
I have.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, I was like, God, this guy is so cool. And now I'm looking at it, and I'm
He's
like,
got the eyeliner and the hair hanging in the eye, and like,
I mean, just sometimes, you just kind of gotta, get through writer's block.
yeah,
And
that's
I'm like,
right.
What? And so I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh my God,
That's right. The writer's he talked about it like it was the Great Depression,
right?
the writer block of 2000 or 1996.
And you try so hard, I mean, and I'm still trying to hold on to my, my Boston roots with having some sort of an accent. But to be honest with
I thought
you,
it was from Buffalo.
I did Buffalo, that's right. But to be honest with you, yeah, that's how less of a fuck I give about him anymore.
You don't even remember.
I don't even remember where he's from. I don't remember where the band is from. And I'm watching this behind the music of this band, and behind the music, I taped it.
Yeah.
You remember back in the band?
Yeah.
It was in our apartment.
Yeah.
The behind the music came out when we lived together.
Okay.
In VHS style, I recorded it like 5 times for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose it. In case I
Right.
lost one, I had to back
Back
up.
up.
That's how obsessed I was. And
Well, back then, Behind the Music was the ultimate.
God,
like,
I love that guy's voice.
what a great show that
Coming
was.
up.
Yeah.
It
Next.
was. And right when he hit rock bottom, an angel showed up.
Yeah.
In the form of Nicolas Cage and
I mean,
Iris.
that was the worst part. When that show finally reached its formula,
like it
where
got
you
too bloated.
knew they were going to go background, dark, something coming up,
Right.
and they're going to keep talking about how something bad's going to happen,
Right.
and then it all came back when they joined forces.
Right.
And but when it first started, that show was so great.
It was fantastic. Like I could literally watch behind the music on some band I didn't give 2 fucks about.
Yeah.
Like I just it was interesting.
Did you see the Guns N' Roses one?
I was just going to get to it, so I watch it,
It was terrible.
and it's all spliced together and stuff, and I'm like,
And like Axl didn't do it.
right.
Izzy didn't do it.
Like the only clips of Duff was like back when he was just like, did
Duff didn't even do it?
He did like a couple of interviews, but I couldn't tell that it was for behind the music.
Oh.
But I mean, like just watching that, like Slash's bits were cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was like, I fucking hate Axl. Like, I mean, he was very blunt and very insightful.
It had
but,
finally, because he was so PC for so long, like he wouldn't say anything about Axl bad. He
Right.
would never trash him. And I think at that point, he finally got removed enough from the whole thing, like, we're never getting back together. And he was like, fuck that guy.
Right.
I'm so fucking sick of talking about him. First of all, you ask me this question every fucking day.
Right.
And I think that day he was just like, I fucking hate that guy.
Right. and then the guy's like, coming up, they form a super group
Yeah.
with lead singer Scott Weiland.
Right.
And I'm like, I want to see where this goes. I want to see if but there wasn't, outside of Slash, like there wasn't any
No.
background.
There was no substance to that at all.
And there was like Gilby and like when there was an interview with Matt
Yeah.
Where Matt's like, so like I totally like joined this band to like make an awesome band, like a rock band, and I show up